In our last episode, we discussed documentation you need to raise capital, how small businesses can do it. Today, let's go a bit higher. So let's talk about small businesses, but small businesses and medium businesses. And again, we are talking about businesses that are already established, not the startups, right? So for small and medium scale businesses, when it comes to raising capital, there are some things that financial advisors want to see. Number one is your track record. Again, you want to make sure that you know what you're doing and you've been doing it for some bit of time. So don't be surprised when you approach a financial advisor, he asks you to provide him, say, your 3-year historical account, right? Just so he sees how your performance has been like. So beyond your track record, the second thing we want to look at is your operating performance. Now, you need to be careful here. Your operating performance is different from your turnover, the way your typical commercial banker will look at it. Commercial banker is looking at the in and out in your bank account. For us, it's quite different. We are majorly looking at two metrics: your revenue, right? How much you sold in a particular year, as recorded on your financials, and your profit, right? Now, let's give a sample. If you have a revenue of, say, 5 billion, and you are able to make a profit of, say, 2 billion every year, right? And you come to us and tell us, commercial partners, we need you to raise us 3 billion naira for 3 years, right? We know that you will be able to pay back because your current operations can actually support it, right? So remember, you're making 2 billion per year. In 3 years, you would have made 6 billion. So you can pay back it, 3 billion over 3 years. So it's for those kind of scenarios, it's quite easy to do the capital raise for you. It's just basically structuring what you on your own have, right? And putting that in the document, make it a bond, your commercial paper, or whatever instrument we agree on at the end of the day. Now, so imagine you are a smaller company making much lower than the example we cited. So for instance, your revenue is about 1 billion naira, your profit is about 300 million, and you approach us and you say, commercial partners, we need you to raise 2 billion naira for us, right? The first question the first red flag is, how can a company making 300 million pay back a 2 billion? You can see the mismatch, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you can't raise capital, right? But what it means is that for us to walk this capital raising lane together, we will need you to have a guarantor. Now, that guarantor can be a corporate bigger than you that is ready to basically tell us that if you can't pay, they would step in. Or most likely, it's usually the banks, right? Your bankers that understand your turnover, that knows that you are doing so much inflows and outflows with them, should be able to guarantee you and say, okay, commercial partners, raise this capital for these guys and we will step in. Now, irrespective of whichever class you fall into, be it the companies that can stand alone or the companies that need a guarantor, right? It is not as easy as it seems, but again, that is why we exist for you, right? So what would I encourage you to do is reach out to us and then we can structure this paper together and then begin that journey to your capital raising. Thank you.